What's up, everybody? My name is Kellen here on Start Your Systems, and welcome to a MX vs ATV Supercross Encore career mode video where, interestingly enough, I'm playing a little bit of 450 Nationals today. I really haven't gone through this career mode too much. Not sure why, I just haven't. And so to fix that problem, if that's what you want to call it, I'm going to try to get through the career mode before I start playing MX vs ATV All Out, which is maybe a tall task, but I think I could maybe do it. So this video might be a little short because I'm pretty much just introducing the fact that I'm going to try to finish the career mode, which I've done most of everything so far. I think I've done all the 250 West, East championships, the 250 Outdoor Championship, the 450 Supercross Championship, so now I have 450 Nationals, and then like the kind of biggest thing to still get through is I haven't done any of the ATV racing, which I might not do, but I'll see if I'm gonna do it. It's not where the track goes, dude. Hey, these people are just all over the track. Haven't done any of the ATV racing, and I haven't done any of the MX versus ATV racing. So only just raced the dirt bike dudes so far, and gonna try to finish that off pretty quickly by getting through all the national stuff. And then probably move into the MX vs ATV stuff first. And if I have time before MX vs ATV All Out comes out, I will jump down into the ATV stuff. Because, you know, some motocross fans deeply believe that quads are dumb. And although I would never personally ride a quad, I think that some quad riders are pretty gnarly. Motocross riders tend to, like, I don't know, I guess laugh at quad riders or whatever, because the like biggest problem I have with a quad is that unlike a dirt bike, 90% of the crashes that happen on a quad, the quad will follow you and hit you pretty hard. Doesn't mess around when you crash. It pretty much decides it's gonna run you over anyway. So I don't really like that aspect, because I'd rather not have something be able to just roll towards me. Like a dirt bike, it's pretty dang hard to crash and then have it ride away perfectly on two wheels. A quad has four wheels, so if it lands on its wheels, it's gonna keep rolling. Especially if the bike doesn't, or the quad doesn't shut down. But like, I feel like it's pretty gnarly to do what some quad riders do, which is like the way that they're able to get through corners, the way that they can kind of throw the quad around a little bit, like the advancement in quads, like lightweight, a little bit more lightweight. Obviously, they have similar engines to what go in a dirt bike, so you know it's not terribly far off of what guys on dirt bikes do. It's just that they do it on four wheels and we do it on two. You know, different strokes for different folks, essentially. So I don't mind the quad stuff, and in fact, it's a little nostalgic for me anyway, because one of my favorite games when I was a little bit younger, I think I played it a lot when I was like age 10 through 14 or so, maybe a little sooner than that, was ATV Off-Road Fury, all the ATV Off-Road Furies. I definitely played the second version of that game the most often. I didn't get too much into 3. I played 4 quite a bit, but 2 was like legendary. Like 2 had, ATV Off-Road Fury 2 had really cool, I don't know, it was like almost like the physics were pretty good in that game, which is crazy, but like they seemed to be real easy to control and play, and it was really fun, like Supercross wise, trying to time rhythm sections on a quad and stuff. I don't know, that game just was fun. Like, I don't know what made it so nostalgic and good, but man, it was certainly a fun game to play. So that's why I still like playing quads when I can, because it brings me back a little bit to the younger days. Must have been longer than that. I mean, I'm only 24 years old, which I know is probably a little bit older than some of you that are watching this video, but I don't think ATV Off-Road Fury 2 is only 14 years old. It might be. 14 years ago would have been 2003. I think it came out, well, no, I guess that could make sense, because I don't think it was a part of the original PlayStation 2 release, which was 2002. Like, I remember playing MX 2002 featuring Ricky Carmichael a lot more at the beginning, but I don't know. I guess 2003 doesn't sound that far off. So yeah, maybe when I was like 10 or so, 9 to 10 is when I started playing that game. I think I had more fun playing that game than some of the other games that were available at that time, which is kind of sad to say because Motocross Madness 2 was out during those times. But I wasn't too into the MX Superfly. I thought was kind of a bleh game. Like, it was good, but the physics were kind of a pain to deal with. I liked, honestly, MX 2002's physics better. So, I mean, there's that, but I don't know, ATV Off-Road Fury 2 is just, man, good times. Good music in that game, too. It had a great soundtrack. But most of these old moto or quad games have really good soundtracks. A lot of that stuff ended up on my modern-day iPod. Always throws me back sometimes. Like, you suddenly just, like, hanging out and, bam, Wait by Earshot pops on. You're like, oh, MX vs. ATV Unleashed. The days. All right, we're cruising right on through here. I was planning on this video being about 15 minutes long, so we might even get through 4 races in the 450 National Championship. So maybe we can just quickly bang out 3 videos, 450 National Championship, once a week or so, getting through there. Because MX vs. ATV All Out comes out in March, late March. Obviously, we are in late January, so, or is it late March? I think it is. It's like March 20-something. I know Monster Energy Supercross, the game, comes out February 13th. We'll be definitely playing that. I think MX vs. ATV All Out is a little bit more towards the end of March. Either way, we'll be also playing that as well. So keep your eyes peeled, but for now we're just going to kind of sit back and enjoy a little bit of the prequel to MX vs. ATV All Out. This game is Supercross Encore. I mean, technically speaking, you could say the game as a whole is about 7 years old because it's alive. I know it's not alive. It's not MX vs. ATV alive, but it's built off of pretty much the same engine across the board. It's, I think, graphically just a little bit of a tuned engine. I don't know if they updated anything about it. And obviously they've changed the physics around, but for the most part, they've built it off of the engine that they use for Alive and fine-tuned it until they found kind of like a happy medium, which I know obviously some people don't agree with, but you know, the fact that this game has kind of gone through the stages that it's gone through and that we're kind of going on to the next chapter, like MX vs. ATV All Out will not have the same graphics engine, will not have the same physics engine. It's, you know, G'd up from the feet up essentially. It's brand new, and it's kind of like putting this one behind us, you know, putting Alive, that whole era, the whole THQ going bankrupt, like that whole thing is going to be behind us now. It's like a brand new start for THQ, Nordic, GmbH, and obviously Rainbow Studios coming back to make itself into what it is. I mean, you may not be excited. You may be a sim purist. You may love MX bikes. You may think that Monster Energy Supercross, the game, is going to blow its doors off, but what I'd always recommend to anybody that watches these videos that is a motocross fan and maybe isn't a big gamer but will purchase these games is, I mean, if you have the money and you're going to spend at least a little bit of time figuring it out, sure, watch our videos, decide if you really want to purchase the game. That could be your end-all decision. But at least try it, and so at the very least, too, support the companies that are pouring money into our sport. Like, I would love that if, you know, motocross was as mainstream as the NFL. Well, I don't know if I'd love it because it would probably change a lot about the sport, but it'd be cool if it was as mainstream as like the NFL or UFC is now and stuff like that, but it's not. It's a very, you know, niche sport, and the fact that we have so many different game companies, manufacturers, and all this different stuff trying to put out, they're like one-upping each other to try to make the best product, I think is just awesome. Like, it creates a good competition for the sport to have, gives us options as gamers and fans so that we don't have to get stuck playing Madden, for example. You know, we're gonna have a couple different options this year arcade-wise and a couple different options sim-wise too. You know, we're gonna obviously continue with our sim tirade, but MX Bikes is getting better and better. I saw that it actually has been like posted as a upcoming release on Steam, So it sounds like they may be getting closer and closer to like an official release and bring it out of beta, which it's been in for like 3 or 4 years now. And then obviously we have that LCQ Studios Motocross Chasing the Dream game coming, which we'll talk more about at some point down the road. But like, it's just a good time to be a motocross gamer. Like, it's all kind of coming back. Like, back to the days when you used to be able to play MX Riders, Silky and Honda Motocross GP, Motocross Madness 2, and MX 2002 and MX Superfly were out, and then eventually MX vs. ATV came, and like, you know, there's just a gamut of games that we could play, and sometimes you felt like you were falling into a rut of playing the same game over and over, sure, but realistically speaking, there's always been kind of a large amount of variance when it comes to motocross games, and we're getting back to that point. THQ going out of business kind of took all of it away from us. Then obviously Milestone threw their you know, kernels in the pot and started popping up what they could with the MXGP series that transformed out of mud into a very reputable series. People like playing that game, and you know, Nordic took the chance to buy the license off of THQ, has been slowly progressing this game. I know some people don't agree with the way that they're charging for DLC or the way that they're approaching making these games or what have you, but the fact that there is a game and that they continue to work on development of it is at the very least a positive step. How they choose to develop it kind of is down to them. Will they listen to fan feedback? Will they not? Will they try to make the game the best that they can? Will they follow a path one way or the other? Like, are they really trying to branch out into more of like an all-terrain vehicle thing where they're making these giant maps to have UTVs and maybe Ultracross return to the games? Is that so bad? I mean, everybody, you know, rants and raves about Reflex, but Reflex had trophy trucks and buggies and UTVs and I think golf carts or something too, and all kinds of different stuff. So it's nice. It's a good thing to have variance, and I'm very excited to see what these games provide for us. I'm very excited to obviously play the next one coming out, which will be Milestone's Monster Energy Supercross the game, and on February 13th we'll definitely have a video out that day, I assume. Us playing it, showing you guys off, probably first look at the career mode, stuff like that. But it's always just a nice break from paying so much attention, trying so hard to get good at sim or MX bikes or any sim game for that matter, including iRacing or other racing games like that, to take a step back and have a little bit of fun on a game that isn't that hard to learn and you can have a good time playing it. So and some close action. I swear I feel like the developers must have like souped up James Stewart a little bit in this game, and that's not meant to be a drug thing. I more mean like I feel like he's the only like good guy you can count on in this game. Like some races Ben LeMay might finish second, and other races Tara Geiger might finish second, but James Stewart will definitely always be out front or near the front in these races. You can just count on it. It's kind of funny how that works. Wonder if he paid to have that be the case, or if they're just super nice because he was on the cover of Alive, and obviously I think they paid a lot for that to happen too. But you know, I don't know. I'm a James Stewart fan, so I don't mind. I think it's kind of cool because it makes sense. If you're going to be racing Ryan Villapoto and James Stewart and Ryan Dungey and all these other guys, they probably should be the top 4 or 5 guys on the track instead of, you know, random you guys you've never heard of suddenly shining through and they're ahead of Stewart and Villapoto and stuff like that. Whoops. That's pretty cool though. I'm gonna make it through 4 of these races tonight. I really thought this would take a little bit longer, so I feel like this video is worthwhile because I'm working my way through the championship with my bike. I'm gonna win all these races. Inevitably, someone will comment on this video and be like, it still sucks, it's a crappy game, but I feel like I've tried to talk you through my sentiments about it. You could agree or disagree, or you could be happy or disappointed for the upcoming games, but at the very least, pay attention, because before you know it, we could be right back where we were with the only game that actually was like a playable game that was in development motocross-wise was MX Simulator. And I fell into that genre of, I had nothing better to do because the live was gone. There wasn't anything else decent being made, with mud being a pile of crap. And so I picked up Sim, tried to learn it, and lo and behold, I got decent enough at it. And 3 years later, SYS is around here, and we're having a good time. But, you know, we could go back to that point where nothing's in development. It's all just stalemate. And I'm happy that we are back to this point where there's multiple games, multiple funsies, and good times all around. But that's going to do it for this career mode video for the 12 races in the Nationals done. We'll be back on sometime probably next week to do some more of this stuff and have a grand old time moving forward in the championship. But thanks guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. So long for now.